Hey peeps, it's Ellen and welcome to my channel. It's Monday, so we know what we do on Mondays. We make mini Monday Madness paintings. This today is using the Stonehenge mini aqua hot press pad paper. It's like a 2.5 by 3.75 inch size paper. I'll give you a reference photo for this cute little lamb or bee, sheep, what do you want to call them, and talk about how I draw all the botanicals around it. And you know, pretty simple step by step. I even show you how to draw the sheep if you want to. You can learn how to do that. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you haven't hit the bell notification button, please hit the bell notification button to know my tutorial is up. Also, check out my Patreon. I have a bonus. Yes, a bonus traceable that goes in my Patreon. Patreon is a place where people can get bonus traceables, ad-free videos, exclusive tutorials on Thursdays, and a live stream on the top tier once a month for me. It's just a place people go and support my channel, which I appreciate so much. You can check it out up here. Boop. So, getting back to the sheep, let's get painting. Okay guys, so let's go over supplies. I have a little piece of this Stonehenge aqua hot press paper. This is that mini pad. I got these in a set, and I have the link in the description box for the set of the pads, the different types of pads, but this is the hot press. I'll be using my Sharpie ultra fine point pen. This is the fine point. Don't use the non-bleed because it will bleed, and the micron will bleed also. I test these things out. If you wanted to paint the images first and then use the micron because you like the tiny little point, use that afterwards. And then I have my Princeton 8 long round. It's got a nice point, and it's all I really need. So, and then it paints and paper towels and water jars, of course. So I have the reference photo attached. You know, look for it in the description box. Basically, you know, I can just draw a little sheep for you. Think of a sheep in, you know, an oval and another oval. Well, a roundish oval. So like his body is kind of like a roundish, not super round, but kind of ovally. And then you got the head. It's kind of a more of a teardrop kind of oval. So you see it's like, it's going down like a, almost like a teardrop. Well, backwards teardrop. More like a pick. See that? Because you want to have it like right up here by his body. And then the ears, curve, and then meet it. Curve, so curve, and then meet it. Curve, and then meet it. And then the little mouth. This is going to be the indentation. Let me zoom in a little bit more so you can see. And then you just do the little eyes here. Just the little mouth. Nose is here. You'll see me draw it anyway. And then so he's just a fuzzy body. This one's a little too big. Maybe I make the head a little bit bigger. And then the legs, so kind of like not straight down sticks. They have to have like a little bulge. See a little bulge come down here. But you have the reference photo. And then for the flowers, just simple petal flowers and stems with leaves going around. You can draw a little poppy kind of flower here. You could draw a daffodil. You know, I have all kinds of references like this stuff for spring. Look at my daffodil tutorial. I'm just giving you ideas. You don't have to do that. So this is a reference photo, like I said. And so I've already sketched it in here, so you can see. And then I'll take the Sharpie pen and I'll just go fill it in. Hot press is nice, it's smooth compared to, you always want to make these little ditty dash lines for the fur. So you have the little nose here, I didn't talk about that. And then here we go, little mouth. And then the eyes are kind of like right here. You're using the marker for the eyes, you don't even have to paint them in. Outline. See how I'm breaking up the lines too? Little squiggly lines, breaking up the lines. There's all the things you can do. And now, if you didn't want to do it in ink, you can do it in pencil. See, I have a pencil here. There's his foot. Now there's a third foot in the reference photo. I kind of like decided to take it out because it feels kind of funny in the drawing. And I actually, for the patrons, I have it in there. But if you want to keep it in there, you keep it in there. You can put a little foot here. I don't know. It just felt like it was like being very goofy. And the two are fine. So then, like I said, you go in through here. You make these little squiggles for the wool. However you want to do it. You can just do lightly here and there. Pencil's nice, but for the flowers around it, you really want to use the Sharpie for this. See, simple petal flowers. Then you can make little lines inside the flowers. I have a little line here. It's like a poppy type flower. It's funny because I have it all sketched out, but sometimes when I'm doing it, I'll just add some more stuff. It's just how it goes. So it's not going to be the same all the time. See, I'll add little leaves here. Don't be afraid to stick little lines inside of it. There's a little daisy here. Again, then I have like a trellisy kind of leaf going here. See, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. You know, just playing around. We can add more flowers. I'm kind of like veering off from what I had in my Patreon sketch, but you guys can play around like I'm doing. Don't have to keep the same thing. It's always good to play. See, adding more leaves, little ditzy flowers here. Maybe some simple leaves here. So basically you're putting all these blooms and flowers around Mr. Sheep and leaves. Just filling it all up. I didn't have a tulip in this one. I have a tulip in the bonus drawing, but I think I might put one up here. I had little daisies, but I'm changing my mind. Or maybe it's not really a tulip, it's just a flower. Adding different things. So I changed it around because I can. I can do whatever I want. But basically that's it. You kind of just going around the drawing here. Just kind of wiggle in the little lines of the wool, the sheep. Again, you can add as many blooms or vines or things as you want. And once you have those all in, it'd be a good thing to erase all your pencil lines. I like to use this little gum eraser. And then you can see what you're working with. So then it's just like the ink and wash that we talk about, except for this little sheep. We're gonna like color them in a little differently, a little more realistic. I think a little ear up here needs a little more color. There we go. So we'll start off with that. The sheep's are like gray with a little beige. So we can play around with my color called neutral tint here. I've got such a mess up here. So actually there's a little blue in there. Neutral tint. Then I have burnt umber. Can mix it too. And we're gonna keep it simple with the sheep, you know. Like you can water down some of the burnt umber. Here's my paper towel close by. Water it down to like, you know, coffee kind of consistency. You want it even lighter. Add some more water. I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow, maybe a little bit of this red. Playing around with this. Or keep it mostly gray. I'm gonna do a combination of browns and grays, but very light. See? Just gonna go right over my drawing here, in the folds. I have my paper towel close by, see? It's pretty wet. I'm just kind of taking this movement like this and just kind of tapping the color Make it a little bit darker in the crevice here. I want to keep them mostly white, so a little gray down here in his little legs. There are sheep that have the dark faces, but we're not doing those. Keeping him mostly white. I'll do a little peach blush around here and then his ears too. Let's see, I'm just adding some of that gray. Just keeping it simple. There's more of this gray. Water this down. Kind of bleed in some of the color over in here where it's darker. So adding on some grays. That's a little too dark. Now you'll notice that hot press does not bleed like cold press. It kind of sits on top of the paper. I'm going to get this a little bit darker here. I'm not really looking at the photograph. I use it for reference, so I don't really care about the shading of where it's going to be. I'm just playing around. You don't have to do that. You don't have to follow the photograph. Just step away from it, draw it out, and now play with color yourself. And that's one way how to learn how to manipulate your own colors. See, I'm adding in some browns, a little deeper grays. I'm going slow. A little more deeper gray here. Take the tip of my brush, taking my time, adding in some deeper grays, like under here. A little bit over in here by his eye, because this part down here. I'll just slowly add these. I don't want it too dark. Getting a little darker. Like I said, I want to keep it mostly light. You see how I'm slowly taking the brush and grabbing that gray, and I'll grab some of that burnt umber. Kind of mix that in too. It's just for a softer look. You just gotta take your time. Some people will just rush. Especially if you want to use this for like an Easter card. You know what? And if you're like done with dinner and you're bored and you want to do some cards and you want to be distressed, this is perfect. Alright, so I'm going to go crazy with this sheep. I am going to make a blush tone for his face. I'll use this cadmium yellow light. Cadmium red light. I'm going to mix it with the bright rose. Or I could just take the bright rose itself and the yellow, cadmium yellow deep. It makes a nice pretty blush. That's prettier. And I'll tap that down. I'll put it right in the ears. It's a little bright, but that's okay. The inside ear, maybe put it down on this little face part. Make him cute. So it's not all gray. So now we're going to work on the little flowers, and of course, just let's color them in. So you grab your brush, and so if you have a daffodil, go up here. I'm just going to fill that in with yellow. Just so tiny, just tapping in a little color. Can have a yellow flower down here. Just really easy. And then of course balance it. Maybe put another yellow one up here. Now I made mine kind of small. You can make your flowers a lot bigger than this. This one I'll do like a pinky one, so maybe the bright rose. I'll mix it in with that red color, the cadmium red light. Oh, that rose is too bright, so I'm going to mix it in with the cadmium red. Get a nice pink. It's more red pink. And I'll balance that up here. Purples will be nice. You know, you get some reds, yellows. Purple is easy. You can make a nice bright purple with this bright rose and ultramarine blue up here. And I'll just throw some purples in. Now you could have drew in some crocus, some purple tulips. What have you felt like? I'm just going to go ahead and add some purple flowers, filling them in. And the purple over here. And then I'll fill in some greenery. So basically I used peacock blue and cadmium yellow deep, and I got this really pale green, which is nice and pretty. I want to use a combination of greens. I can use a nice pale green. And then you can take that same green, add some Prussian blue, a little burnt umber, cadmium yellow deep. So you want to have more of a darker olivey green. I have so many tutorials using the same green, so just click on one of my tutorials with flowers and you'll see it. So now let's see, this is a deeper green. Just going to put that in some of these. You want to balance out the deeper ones and the lighter greens. Just filling it in, guys. All the little leaves. It's just cute. It's kind of a combination of like a botanical drawing with a little fun. So like I said, you can, it's so tiny, you can make the leaves and the flowers bigger. It's just fun to play. And then I'm going to mix the two greens and get a medium green for this particular, almost like a trellis. There's a little flower in the end I have to fill in with the color. There's some more greenery. Now I might have made my greenery bigger, but I didn't. Just really dainty. Just has a cute look, right? You can just go and fill in the little center yellow. I might go back and add some more yellow flowers. Just bright yellow. And then I'll add some more of this reddish pink flower. More pink. Red looks too Christmassy, so I'm going to add more pink. Or even purple or blue, you know, like just even ultramarine blue by itself. It's kind of pretty. Let me just put that right there. Over here. It's a little dark. And then you've got the greenery you didn't fill in. Let's look around and see. See, once you fill all that in, you can go back to your little sheep and start playing with the color again, adding in a little more deeper grays. See, I'm just taking the tip of this brush and going adding little lines for the wool. So it looks like a fuzzy wool sheep. This is really simple. I know it may not seem that way to some people, but it really is. Like I said, some people's forte is drawing more than it is painting, so this would be an easier thing for somebody to do. Some people are better at painting than drawing. They're cute. Now when it's dry, you can go back over it if you wanted to use the micron pen. I'll show you that in a second. Real fine. I'm adding some deeper grays again down here in the legs. And some browns. Just kind of punching it up a little bit more. And then the little ears. Trying to give it some life. Slowly doing this though. You see how I didn't rush to do this? Take your time. Little sheep, baba. So I'm gonna see if some of these are dry. You can go back over with like a skinnier little fine pen and really play with the lines. And some of these, get them really kind of drawn out like botanicals. These are all little things you can do. I think it looks cute. So you know, something simple, cute for an Easter card, little lamb. Like I said, when he's dry, You can go back with a nice pencil too, like a number 2 pencil, and make little lines too for his fur. That's kind of cool. I have an illustration I did that's just basically watercolor with pencil. It's kind of fun like this. You know, just another thing. Or you can use watercolor pencils also. You could use your watercolor pencils for all these details out here. I did a fun one, like I said, the patrons get a bonus tutorial. You see, just drawing and painting, and it'd be a nice little matching thing. So you can just draw an egg, and you can do the flowers around the egg like that. You know, it's fun to play. This is a simple, quick tutorial today. So I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, when it's dry, you want to take a fine line marker, like this little micron pen, and just do little teeny dashes. This is like a more fine pen. Make more lines on your florals. Maybe able to. I've tried to where you draw this with the micron and then wash in the color, and it just muddies it. It bleeds it. So I wouldn't do that. It seems to me that the best one was the Sharpie, and I'll tell you why. I can tell you that. See, muddy, muddy, non-muddy, and that was the Sharpie first one we did. And you can use the pen and say Happy Easter. See, I'm going back in with the micron when it's dry. I'm making all little teeny marks that we didn't do with the big. Because, you know, the Sharpie is a fine point, but it's a little bit thicker than the micron pen. So you can get a little more fine lines with this guy. Super cute, right? Isn't that fun? So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Like I said, I have the reference photo in the description box. You're just drawing some flowers and daisies around it and just washing in the color. And you have this cute little design. You could do this with anything. Birds, pigs, you know, cows, horses. Just more ideas for you guys to do if you're bored and can't think of anything and you want to do some cute little Easter cards too. So thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to hit the bell notification button to know my tutorial's up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks, guys. Speak to you later.